Today I'm going to be unboxing my Zhiyun Crane M gimbal I just got in the mail to go with my new Canon G7X. This just arrived via UPS while I was filming my latest piano rehearsal. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Comes with a nice little carry handle here. It's the Crane M 3-axis gimbal stabilizer. Okay, so inside the box we have the cell phone holder. We also have a cleaning kit, which looks like it has gloves with grips on them, a cleaning cloth, looks like a microfiber cloth, and a little brush. Also here have what looks like a little tripod to mount the gimbal onto when you want to just use it as a tripod. Likely another piece to hold the camera, maybe? We'll see what it is once we set it up. A strap for the carrying case. And, oh, there's one other piece in here. Another piece for mounting, I assume. We'll find out soon. Okay, so the case is pretty solid. Flip this around. Nice foam inside, comes with a DVD, the 2 batteries needed to power the gimbal, and a battery charger with a port for the cord to charge it. All right, then we have the handle for the gimbal. It looks like it holds the batteries, and the gimbal itself. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go get these batteries charged up, and then we will get to setting up the gimbal and testing it out. All right, so while the batteries are charging, let's go ahead and see if we can balance our camera on here. I discovered after I went to go charge the batteries that this is not a disc, it is the user guide. Much more useful to me than a disc since I don't even have a DVD player anymore or CD player in my computer. And in here it has all the directions for balancing your camera. So the first step here is to take this thumb screw out of the mount and to put it up through the panel here. Then we'll take our camera and we want to find the front, which would be just like this. And we need to put the camera as close to the tilt arm, which is right here, as close to the tilt arm as possible and parallel to the front of the mount. So for mine, it goes as far over as it will allow. The next thing that you adjust is this piece right here called the mounting plate. We need to get that into place next. That is controlled using this little lever right here. So just need to loosen that. It says to loosen it a few turns. Looks like you pull it up a little bit, but not enough to get over here. So let me actually unscrew this and shift it over. And now the mounting plate will slide back and forth so the camera can slide back and forth. Now the way it explains to mount this piece, I'm holding the arm right below the tilt axis, which is right here. And I need the camera to balance straight up and down so I can shift the mount plate. There's a little ruler on the left side here so you can see exactly where it is. I'm about 3 1/10 here. So let's flip that upside down. There we go. We'll tighten that down. And now move the camera back over. And tighten this back down too. That looks about straight. Okay, so if I hold this here, probably want to take the strap off the camera. That looks pretty straight. All right, so the next thing we have to adjust is the tilt axis. And the way it has us doing that is to unscrew this piece right here. And that is, there's another little ruler here on the inside. And so what it says is that you need to get it so that the camera lens is facing straight up when you hold it like this, which is obviously not what it's doing right now. So let's adjust it a little bit towards the middle here. Whoop! All the way the other direction. But it will stay like this if I hold it like that. I think that's all right. If I push it, it goes around, but it will stay still up on the top, which is what the instructions say it needs to happen. Okay, next is the roll axis, which is this screw over here. And for this one, if I hold it steady here, it should be able to stick, not fall like this. So obviously I need quite a bit of adjustment here. So this one slides, as you can see, left to right. And again, there's measurement lines on here. Okay, I looked at the diagram and it looks like the camera should actually be facing forward while you do this, which makes sense. This is not holding it forward though, so I think I need to adjust the mount again. A lot of tweaking. This requires a lot of tweaking. Okay, looks like those are in place now. The last one here in the guide is the pan axis, which is this axis down here at the bottom. So for this, it has us putting the handle down this way. And obviously I don't have the batteries plugged in yet because they're not ready, but you don't need the batteries to do this. So it has it this way, but it needs to be able to stay steady with the screw over here facing up. So right now it's rotating so that the screw is on the side. So if I take this just here, that looks about level. All right. Okay, so now we get to wait for the batteries to charge, and then we'll plug them in, turn on the camera, and give it a little test run. All right, I come bearing freshly charged batteries. It took 2 hours for this battery to charge and 3 hours for this battery to charge. So it's a new day, new hairstyle, and the lights start out red and then they turn blue when they're charged. Okay, now the directions state to insert the positive sides up, and we'll do that right in here. Slide them both in, and then we just screw this in here. There we go. And if we hold it, it's all balanced correctly, the batteries are in. So we just long press the power button for 3 seconds to turn it on. Moment of truth, see if I did this properly. There's no shake. It's on now because you can see the camera is actually staying in the same spot. Test out the joystick here. Because of the mode I have it in, the joystick is tipping it up and down. can press mode to make it turn. Use the joystick for turning. And if you press the mode button 3 times, it rotates into selfie mode. All right, let's go shoot some footage with it and see how it looks. All right, let's go on an adventure. Nice and bright sunny day out here. Let's go for a quick walk down the street. Now I just want to try running with it. We'll turn. And let's try the inverted mode. The camera gets a little caught on it because this camera is a little bit big. Here's inverted mode and running. I can now use the joystick to also turn it side to side. As well as up and down. And of course, clicking mode 3 times spins it around into selfie mode. So we can shoot our vlog while we're on the move and hopefully walk and talk at the same time, not run into anybody or anything, but also not have a super shaky camera. Okay, so that is the Crane M gimbal. It's actually not too heavy. I think my arm will get tired holding it up for too long. I'm also excited to be able to try it out with the cell phone mount and use it with my iPhone. But you'll have to rebalance it, obviously, for any device that you use. It was pretty easy to set up. I didn't have any trouble balancing it. As you saw, I pretty much did all of the balancing right on the video. There was not a lot of editing that went in. And it took 2 to 3 hours for the batteries to charge. They're supposed to hold a charge all day long. And I didn't go over it, but there's also an app that goes with it, and you can, depending on the type of camera you have, connect it to the stick part itself so that you can take pictures with it and zoom with it without having to actually use the controls directly on the camera. In the regular upright mode, this camera does have a selfie screen, essentially, so you can use it there. However, you may notice that you have to rebalance it if you do, because the weight is distributed differently. Another thing you want to be aware of is if you're going to try using it in inverted mode, you can't use the selfie screen. You'll have to put that down because it just gets in the way of the gimbal itself. So that's the basic setup of the Crane M gimbal. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments. I'm happy to answer them or try things out if you want to see how they work before you buy it. There's also a link to the one I purchased in the description, so you can go ahead and purchase it, and I get a little commission if you do, so I'd love it if you went through my link if you're going to buy it. The version that I bought came with the tripod, came with the cell phone attachment, this additional, someone can probably tell me in the comments what this piece is for, but it obviously attaches another device to the gimbal, and the cleaning kit, and this piece right here, which I believe is just to attach another type, maybe a GoPro, I believe. The manual that comes with the Crane M does not have these items listed. It only has the items that are actually on the device and then the strap and the case. So if you order it from a different link or you order it directly, I don't know if you'll get all of these additional pieces that came with the version that I ordered. So I'll include the link down below if you want to get that one. So thank you again for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more on gear as I get it. And I'm also planning to shoot some awesome footage with the new camera and the new gimbal. So please stay tuned.